What's up, guys? I'm Rustin from RossMartech.com, and this is another tutorial in Swift programming. Now in this class I'm going to talk about increment and decrement. So let's get started. Now let's first start off by declaring a variable with an integer data type. So we're going to type in var, right? Variable is the keyword. And we're going to call it our variable a, and we're going to give it an integer data type. So we're going to say equals to, let's say, 0, right? Notice we don't have to add any semicolons because with Swift, semicolons are not needed. There are certain cases where you need a semicolon, but like 99% of the time you don't. So we declared a variable with the integer data type. We named this variable a, and we said a is equal to integer 0. Right? Let's say we wanted to increment a by 1, right? Normally we would have to type in this type of statement: a equals a plus 1, right? So this is the normal statement for incrementing or adding 1 to a variable. But this statement is long and it doesn't make sense. But let's print it out on the screen anyway. So we're going to use the print line method to do that, or print line code. So we're going to type in print ln open and close parentheses. Now this is the code to print something on the screen. And notice it's similar to Java, the print line. If you guys have ever studied Java, we have the print line, so this is similar. So inside the open and close parentheses, we're going to type in the variable that we want to print out on the screen. So I'm going to type in variable a, and let's hit play, see what happens. I'm going to hit play here. Build succeeded, and as you can see down here, it printed out 1, right? Because we declared a variable, we named it a, and we gave it a value of 0. This is an arithmetic statement here. We're saying that a equals a plus 1. So the value of a, which is 0, add 1 to it and move it back into a. So a is going to be incremented by 1. So this statement is long and unnecessary. We have a way to increment and decrement without typing all this code. So I'll show you how to do that right now. So we're going to keep this declaration. We're going to keep our variable a, but now we're going to declare another variable. We're going to say, and let's use the let keyword here. So we're going to create a constant variable. We're going to say let b equal a. I'm sorry, let's start off with this plus then a. So this is an arithmetic operator here. This plus is going to increment the variable by 1. So let's test it out. Let's see what happens. I'm going to hit play here. Build succeeded. And as you can see down here, it printed out 1. And our value of our variable a is 1 because this incremented the variable before moving the value to b. So there's another way to actually write this, and I'll show you that in a second. But let me show you decrement first. So now we can decrement by using 2 minus symbols in front of a variable. So let's see what happens. So let's give the variable a value of 1, right? So then if this works, a should have a value of 0, right? Because it's decrementing. So let's hit play. Build succeeded, and as you see down here, it printed out 0 because we're decremented the variable by 1. But this is actually decrementing the variable before it returns the value. So it's decrementing first, then returning the value. So there's another way to do it, and I'll show you how that works right now. Let's start off by the increment again. Now, the second way to write the increment is adding the plus symbol after the variable. So now what's happening is the variable is incrementing after the value is returned. So the value is returned first, then it's incrementing the variable by 1. So I'll give you an example right now. Let's start off the variable with a value of 0 again. And now let's put b in here. So we're going to print out the value of b instead of a this time. So what's going to happen is our variable a is going to move its value before it increments. So it has a value of 0. So 0 should be moved into b. Then it's going to increment a by 1. So when we print b, it should be 0. So let's hit play and find out. Build succeeded. And it printed out 0. Because again, first the value is transferred. So a is going to transfer its value to b. So a has a value of 0. Then a increments by 1. So let's print out the value of a, and it should be 1. Let's hit play. Build succeeded, and it printed out 1 down here. Pretty cool, right? So again, if you guys are confused, because it can be a little bit confusing, when we have the 2 plus symbols before the variable, right? They're both incrementing. They both do the same thing. Let's say you wanted to just to increment. You could use either way. If you want to use a return value, this is going to affect the return value. That's why you have to choose which version you want to increment before or after, basically. So again, two plus symbols in front of the variable, we're incrementing, but we're incrementing, then we're transferring our variable again. So first we can increment the variable. It's going to be incremented by 1. So 1 is going to be moved into b, basically. So if we had the plus symbols on the other side, we're incrementing after we move. So let's add these 2 plus symbols here. So first we're moving our value of a to b. Then the variable a is going to increment by 1. So that's why the value of b is 0 and the value of a is going to be 1. So the same thing with decrement. If we had 2 minus symbols after the variable here, it's going to first move the value of a to b. Then it's going to decrement. So let's make value a 1 first, right? We initialize the value of a with 1. So again, the plus or minus symbols after the variable, the increment is done after the value is transferred. So first, what's going to happen, a is going to transfer its value, which has a value 1 to b. So b should print out 1. Let's test it out again. So let's hit play. Build succeeded, and it printed out 1. So now, let's test out, see what value a has. So we're going to put a here, and it printed out 0, because again, it's going to increment our variable last, right? So let's add b again in this variable. The value of b should be 1. Again, because it's going to move the value first, then it's going to decrement. So let's hit play. Build succeeded, and it printed out 1. And if we add a here, it should print out 0. So let's hit play here. Build succeeded, and it printed out 0. So I hope you guys understood. Could get a little bit confusing. Now let me delete this here first. And let's delete Abe. If we're just going to, if you guys are just going to increment and decrement, doesn't matter which way you use. If you add the plus symbol in front of the variable, right? Or if you added the plus symbol after the variable, it's still going to increment. The only reason to ever worry about which increment and decrement to use is if you're going to use a return value. The return value is affected by which increment and decrement you use. So that's pretty much it for this video. If you guys like this video, please give me a like. If you want more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel. I'm Ristam from RosmerTech.com, and thanks for watching.